Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Graybeards. My name is Wayne, and to my left over here is my good friend Bug. How is everybody doing today, and how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. And I feel like Hollywood Squares, you're above me on mine. That's the only way I can look straight in the camera. If you're off to the left or right, I'm all with my eyes is
Well, that's kind of why
somewhere.
everybody goes, "What are you looking at?" And I said,
What
"Well,
is
I
it
have
looking
to,
at? I had
if
to,
I look at the camera, right, like you're supposed to,
yeah.
as you're
This makes
engaged."
me look at the camera.
I mean, I'm no professional by by any stretch of the word.
Sometimes you just figure it out.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Um, Bug and I usually call in every morning, talk before the show, and we're all like, "What do you want to talk about?" And I was like, "I don't know. I
Before
gotta,
talk.
right before bed, my mind is, anymore is just, there's a couple things, I know I was like all day yesterday. What are we gonna talk about? And if anybody wants to, if you put it in the comments. They're down there somewhere. Any show ideas or topics you want us to, discuss, feel free to put them down in the bottom down there. I know there's some things that are, it can be just about anything.
Anything.
Um,
Just about anything.
just about anything. We're not gonna, if you want to talk about political stuff, that's fine, but we cover both sides. Not that we're both I'm not registered anything. Talk about when did you have see this is we have to talk about that later. Why why you shouldn't have those little things. If you don't know where certain things are, he's trying to look scholarly with his little globe on his desk up there. I
Far
can't
from
hear you.
scholarly.
I was gonna say I can't hear you there. You're blanking out.
Far from scholarly. But I will surprise you every once in a while.
Yeah, you do come up with some stuff,
Every once in a while, I come up with
Well,
something.
there's a big thing in the news, but both if you guys don't know right now that Bug and I we're still affiliated with the Air Force and in different capacity than we were as when we were enlisted in the Air Force together. Big topic in the last well, been a couple of weeks now was
Yeah, 2 or 3
so the
weeks.
Air
Yeah.
Force went so the Air Force went to a new sidearm or weapons platform, if you will, the M18, M17 um, modular handgun system. I think they call it MHS. It's a gun. It's a pistol,
Hmm. Are
and
we
the
allowed to discuss what the civilian equivalence of this
the P
weapon
three
is?
twenty. Yeah, it's the Sig. Basically,
Yeah.
the military version of the Sig 320 and I think the 365. And by no means am I an expert on any of these. I'm not a
I
gunsmith
had
or
just happened to have one like 10 feet away from me. I don't know
yeah,
if we're allowed to
yeah.
display weapons on YouTube or not.
You can,
I
yeah,
do
but
have one.
you can, but we can talk about it. The fact that there was people have had instances where they felt the gun just went off without actually pulling the trigger. Let's use that word. And the Air Force had an unfortunate, severe, I mean, a tragedy. Airman got killed, and was the claim of the initial claim was that the gun had a malfunction, and it turns out that, from what I understand, I haven't seen anything official, and I don't know if it's still the investigation was still ongoing, but it's gotten this whole thing right. The
Well, let's
whole
let the public know why it was even entertained. All right. The the way military members in the Air Force carry their firearms is
mm,
hot, right?
yep, ready to
There's a
go,
round in the chamber,
and
and
it's
I
been
think the
that way
selector
for
lever it may be on fire.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's
You
the configuration of the weapon. So
Mhm.
That's the only reason it was in the chain. You know what I'm saying? That it could have happened because the round is in the chamber and the selector lever is on fire because you can go from a cold situation to a hot situation in an instant. You ain't got time to rack around, flick it on the
Yeah,
fire, and engage whatever you need to engage. So that's why in the Air Force they carry one in the chamber. So now it's like, well, if it's in the chamber, then maybe there's a possibility that it could have just went off somehow,
yeah. Well,
bumped something.
I mean, just to clarify, we always have, right? The previous weapon system we did, the one before that we did, and so on and so forth, as you should. The
Mhm.
question comes to mind, the other platform, the M9, the Beretta, you know, it was double action, right? You had to squeeze the trigger, the hammer had to, it wasn't just breathe on the trigger and the gun would go off. Now, were there what they call negligent discharge, right? Is a term used when it was not intentional or there was an act that occurred that made it negligent and caused the gun to go off. I don't know the exact definition of negligent discharge personally, but that's what it means to me, the official, whatever. And that's not good. It means that there was something with the operator of the or the carrier of the weapon did something negligent to cause the weapon to discharge, whether it was something out of the normal protocol for the carry, um, what have you. I don't know. I haven't seen the report, and I won't to release it anyways. If I did know, I would not release it unless it was something that already. Anything you tell me is not something that hasn't already been released. The problem I have is Ernie and I was talking was to give false witness, right? In other words, lie about what happened. You
Yeah.
know, and they got I mean, there's police departments that carry this weapons platform. There, besides all of the military, and the exuberant cost that now because it may have been that someone lied about the situation and what had happened. Um, we don't know yet, but it's the amount of money and time that has caused the Air Force, the taxpayer. This is you're the one that foots the bill for this as a taxpayer, and I don't understand why people don't realize that all this stuff they get they get all in an uproar when the government spends $100 for a hammer or whatever back in the day, toilet seats or whatever on airplanes,
Right.
but they'll go out there and they'll spend money, give money to figure out whether Trent can run on a treadmill and what they're, stupid. I don't understand it.
They can.
Yeah, it just drives me crazy. But anyways, I got off my high horse. It's unfortunate that it's looking that maybe this possibly may have been some false
Some other
witness.
shenanigans going on.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
false
but
witness, man.
the way the military works, in particular the Air Force, man, safety is one of the it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. Okay, so they probably when they decide to go to the M18, they probably loaded this gun, threw it up beside the wall, threw it out of a car, dropped it from a darn Empire State Building, and it didn't fire. Okay, because the only thing that should make this weapon fire is pulling the trigger. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm sure it went through a rigorous test to ensure that it would fire under no circumstances other than you
yeah.
pulling the trigger. So
Or
when
some
that
kind of or some kind of freak accident, right? Some weird something, which is always
in
possible.
that yeah, in that accident would be something pulling the
Hmm.
trigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah, you something got between the trigger weld, if you want to call it that, and the
Hmm.
trigger, and it pulled the trigger. Okay, that's possible. It could happen.
Yeah.
Some freak accident, but still, the trigger has to be pulled to fire the weapon. You
Yeah.
know, so that's what they want. That's the product they want. We just want this thing that happened, if a freak accident, God intervened and the trigger get pulled, then so be it. Saying we're
Uh,
willing to live with that. But supposedly the individuals involved was like, no, it didn't. That's not what happened. It pulled
yeah,
on its own. You
yeah.
know, so,
Well, and
you
there's
know,
things, right? There's a lot of them. They go back and look at everything, and they were like, "I just put it in my holster," but they
and it
touched
went
that
on.
trigger. They touched the trigger when they were putting it in their holster, and they moved or they don't have the proper holster, or there's a problem with the holster that causes the trigger to move or to
Hmm.
be depressed. They're
Hmm.
like, they don't think, they're like, well,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. But nevertheless, the trigger caused it, would have to cause it. Well, we
yeah.
haven't found any other way, and apparently they haven't found any other way.
Well, there's people out there testing. They're sticking rods and stuff in the back of the gun and prying on the slide and manipulating the gun's work, and then it goes pop, and they're like, oh, see, told you this thing's broken. There's a
Yeah.
problem. I shouldn't be able to
Yeah.
jam a screwdriver into the back of a weapon and cause it to go off.
Yeah. I
It's
imagine
like,
that
well,
person, that person didn't say that because he was dead. But the
mhm,
witnesses say, hey, he jammed the screwdriver back of
yeah.
his,
Well,
and it
that's what
shot
they
him in the
said.
face.
Yeah, but that's why I know you haven't seen it. You don't watch it because you watch other stuff. But um, there's people out there and they were like, I can get this thing to go. You watch me. You just watch. I'll just stick this right here. Pop! It'll fire. Those anti-sig P320 folks out there, or just
I
they
dropped
think
it and
they're
it fell perfectly
you.
on my
I shouldn't.
screwdriver.
I shouldn't be able
And it
to
went,
stick this little screwdriver in here and manipulate it around and cause the weapon to go off. That's just wrong. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe to somebody, but it's like it's not
not to
designed
me.
for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Who does that?
yeah.
Who does that?
Anyways,
But
moving
anyway,
on. Enough
mhm,
said. Don't get false witness, right?
right. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Man, YouTube. I can't. It's hard to say anything bad about YouTube when we're going to post this on YouTube. But the
No,
commercials.
they probably welcome it. They probably like, yeah, we want that feedback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
YouTube.
yeah, you say that, and then the next thing you know, not that we get any money from YouTube, or probably ever will. It's not our purpose for our little chat when we get a chance to do it. Um, is the YouTube commercials are just ridiculous. Used to be like 10, 15, 20 second. Now I'm sitting through them for like a minute before I
Yeah,
can skip, right? I'm just sitting there waiting to skip, skip, skip. Come on, skip,
yeah.
you know. But then now they go, it's all about the money. I got it. They were, oh,
Yeah, but if they're gonna post
um,
a minute long commercial on your video, that must mean that your video is popular, right?
one would surmise, right?
Yeah.
Some of our videos, I've watched them and well, there's commercials not in
Mhm.
them, but around them at the beginning of it. Like if you were to
Mhm.
open it, there'll be a commercial. I, you
Okay.
know, they're making money off of our content, but I have to have, or we have to have so many subscribers, have to have so many watch hours, yet you're running a commercial in before,
Yeah.
our video.
I want a percentage. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? No free advertisement.
yeah, and that's
No
the,
free
and that's the,
advertisement.
that's the, yeah. How much money did they make off of someone looking at going,
Yeah.
oh, these guys are idiots, and they sweep off into the
Yeah.
next one? Yeah,
Graybeard,
but they
duh.
still got the
Yeah,
commercial in,
they got
you
it. They
know?
got it in.
Yeah.
You want to see what these dudes are talking about? Watch this commercial.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the problem. A lot of people, that the friends and family and fans of the show have to endure any show. It isn't just us. And I'm not complaining, right? I'm just saying that. But
Mhm.
there's been a trend in the commercialization of YouTube that there's more commercials, they're longer commercials, and you don't get the option to skip out. I mean, it'll tell you, you click on one and it'll say 50, it tells you got time for a bathroom break. It's going to be 55 seconds or a minute or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Before your show comes back. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. You got
You
to
have,
deal with it.
yeah. And I think it kind of can hurt YouTube people going, I'm not going to go there because I sit through, I watch.
Yeah.
There's some people they monetize like every 5 minutes they got a commercial coming on, right? And you can
That's
set
true.
that
It's a
up.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the type of commercials that they're putting on there, they're bearing false witness, just to kind of piggyback off a term you put out there. If
Hmm.
you got high blood pressure, all you need to do, don't take any of that medicine your doctor prescribed for you.
Yeah.
Just do this one simple trick and
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah. There
They
is
show these
some.
charts of blood flowing and all of
Yeah.
this stuff. I'm like, man, and there are people that believe in it. The salt trick, and your wife will be happy for life. The salt trick, what am I doing? What,
Yeah.
what am I
Yeah.
doing with this salt? Where am I putting this salt? Is the question. I'm like, you know how many people that got in the shower, poured salt in a tube? I just say that. And probably had to be rushed to the hospital.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what I know what you're talking about for, ED. Is it ED?
Yeah,
Erectile
ED.
dysfunction.
We just call it Ed.
Yeah, for,
You know what I'm
you
saying? And
know,
people are throwing their medicine out. They're putting salt in places they shouldn't be putting it in. You know? I'm like, what the heck, man?
yeah.
They just got the instant cure. Look, folks, if I had an instant cure, you would get it. The first million will get it for free, okay? Then I'll start charging you bad boys.
Yeah. Well, that's the
But
thing when you think about the false witness and then what's their liability, right? If someone,
not
you know,
zero.
they have to, if they should have some kind of, hey, this stuff
No.
don't work. This thing is garbage. It doesn't do what they are
They
they
had liability, they
advertise.
wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
There's none. You can get on YouTube and say whatever. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
you
I
still.
can
I
work
mean,
out.
I mean, you and I are still whatever we say. Someone could come back for defamation or whatever,
Yeah, we
right?
say something bad about them. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
get it. I mean, there's existing laws for that. But if I tell some folks, hey, you see this top here? I mean, you can't see it.
No, there
But
it is. I
there it
see it
is.
now.
So if you see this top, if you just swallow one of these a day, you'll have guns like me. That's all I did. I ate plastic off
Yeah.
a bottle cap. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. And you know how many folks will try to ingest this darn thing? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing, when they sit there and they're looking at the how many times you see, show the super fit guy, he's like, I eat whatever I want or whatever, just and then you're like, well, how did you do it? Well, you have to go to this website.
And watch this 2 hour video,
And then buy
which is
stuff.
going to tell you what you know already, that you need to watch your caloric intake and
Diet and
exercise.
exercise, right? This is diet and you got to exercise, you know.
It's not going to happen, folks. I've
Yeah.
tried it. I've tried the donut diet. I've tried the pizza diet. I've tried them all. You
uh,
know where I got bigger at? In
yeah.
places I didn't want to get bigger at.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not.
Just drink Pepsi and freaking donuts, powdered donuts,
Mhm.
by the way. And not just any powdered donuts. You got to have Dunkin' powdered donut. You know what I'm saying? And you can do, man, come on. But I think that falls in the category of bearing false witness.
Again,
You know what I'm
another.
saying?
Yeah, it's all. They should it be scrutinizing who's advertising and what, right? Are they
Mhm.
legitimate? You should be able to trust, but how many times, even on, mainstream television back in the day, the big three, ABC, NBC, and CBS, how many times did they show an advertisement of something that was garbage, by Ronco, is me. I know you remember those commercials, right?
Remember that one.
Mhm.
Glasses on, and you will never have to have another prescription ever. I can't see. And I fell for it, folks. You see these glasses? I bought them off of YouTube. No, that's a lie. They're a false witness. But that is one of the commercials. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the one
There's no
they're
way that can work.
adjustable and you'll see perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You just turn the little screw on the side.
Hmm.
Come on, folks, wake up.
Yeah,
Come
ridiculous.
on.
Yeah.
It's not true.
It's
It's
like,
not happening.
and if it did,
Large
it's like
corporations,
it's a little tiny little hole that you can look through,
this
you
video
know.
will be taken down in 30 days. You know, you need to go in
Yeah.
and get these glasses because they're
Yeah.
major corporations. Nah,
What else
nah.
was in the what else was in the news? Oh, AI, right? Everybody's all about AI lately. It's gonna take over the world, right?
Now, okay. I'm gonna let you say what you got to say. I'm gonna give you
I
my
don't really have
theory on that.
anything to say about it. I have used
Okay.
AI. I have used it for some things.
Yeah, I think it's good, you know, in some regard. But okay, I got a buddy out there, Chuck, and he uses AI. And there's a lot of yeah. He shakes his head. I got more than one friend, but anyway,
Don't get me wrong. I
um,
love Chuck. Chuck, great guy. I love him. Right.
yeah, yeah. I'm
His,
just throwing him out there. But anyway.
yeah.
You got this stuff, you got Chat GBT, which I just crawled from under a rock and discovered by a coworker. He was like, yeah, hey man, you can just do this. Chat GBT, you can just download a conversation. You can sound intelligent or whatever. But you're at the mercy of the AI. You haven't actually researched this stuff. You don't know if it's true. You know what I'm saying? You're just doing whatever AI says to do. And that's the
Well,
credence I give to AI that why they could potentially really impact the world. They can change history
yeah,
because
they
folks
could.
are they're taking it for reality. It could just be somebody's opinion. It's whatever's loaded in the AI is what's going to come out.
Yeah,
I
true.
understand the concept is supposed to pull information from all reliable sources and condense it so you can talk intelligent about a subject, but you're at the mercy of those bad boys just loading it.
Well, any
You
credit. I mean, anything is that way, right?
truth,
You can say that about any written doctrine, right? It's where you
facts.
choose to believe what they're saying
You
to be
can't, but
true.
yeah, anything. I mean, if you're going there, I thought you was going a different way, but yeah, you're right. You can. Any book could be just total fiction. You know what I'm saying? However,
Airplane.
I know, but but if they
But
want to create a narrative, I mean, if everyone is using this AI, this technology, you
mm,
can create a whole narrative. You know, we've always been in America. There were no Native Americans. We can just totally change that. The
well,
Holocaust
they
never happened.
weren't. Well, the other, I mean, the other question is, you could say that they were not necessarily Native American. They migrated here from other areas.
Yeah, there's nobody that just came out of the earth and was here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so,
Truth.
yeah.
That didn't happen.
Are they
I
really
mean,
native? I don't know.
no,
Depends on
no,
what you
not
read
at
and
all.
what you believe, right?
Yeah.
Not to
What
offend
does it mean?
any of our Native American. I'm just saying, really.
That's the title we gave them.
Hmm. Yeah.
They're native to Americans, to America.
Wow, that's the title that came later on. That's not what we initially.
And
Well, I say we,
this
not
pro,
me, is we, not me. You know,
yeah,
the
we not
U.S.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
true.
not me. But
But that's what we've been taught. Hey, these guys, they was the ones that was here when the Europeans got here. So
mhm.
they're
Indigenous
native,
to the land.
indigenous. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Now
But
that I mean,
that's the dangers of
I've heard
AI.
that term. I've heard that term, indigenous.
Indigenous.
Mhm. Indigenous
Does
people,
it
meaning
mean native?
they were here before we settled to, invaded this country, if you this
Right.
land invaded. Wasn't even a country, invaded this land.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was raised that I sang this song in the first grade. This land is your land.
You
This land is
is
my land.
my land. From the
From
Westwood
here,
Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Anyway,
yeah, this land was made for you and
for
me.
you and me.
It was made for us, baby.
And made for us.
Made,
Yeah.
created. Yeah.
But, in that sense, it's just, what do you really know what to be true is really what you agree with. That's
Dang, you just ruined it for me. But you're right. When
mhm.
I'm searching for stuff, I'm searching for stuff that agrees with me. You know what I'm saying? Not the truth, but what agrees with me. I got 10 million Dallas Cowboy fans. You know what I'm saying? They agree with me that we're the greatest team. You got
Well,
the one
and that's what's funny, right? Like, you can go NFL if you want, right?
or whatever.
We all pick a team to be on, right? To
Mm-hmm.
like what have you. There's no rules to what team, as much as it pains me to say this, I've known people even in my hometown that were Cleveland Browns fans or Buffalo Bills or Cincinnati Reds or, whatever you pick a sport, right? I had friends that were fans of, for whatever reason. I'm like, it just didn't make sense to me because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
When you have I'm typically a very loyal person to a certain thing until I'm betrayed by a certain whatever, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
all in.
Right.
But when bandwagons come around and people get on those bandwagons, it doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, well, you have a team from your home state or just you pick any product, vehicles or televisions or cell phones, whatever it is, people they become loyal to those products until that product is no longer loyal to them.
And then check this out. I'm hearing what you're
I see
saying.
you snickering down there,
I'm
there.
actually, hey, I'm actually feeling what you're saying. Okay, well, check it out. Now, this is me. All right, I'm from Georgia, and I was so proud of my doggone Georgia. Being from Georgia, I kept my Georgia plates on my car, even up here. When I got stationed here at Shaw,
Mhm.
I was paying that Georgia tax, so I was loyal to Georgia, even though I had the military. I had that option that, hey, you could waiver this thing. Matter of fact, you can even waiver where you're from. You know what I'm saying? Just to avoid taxes. You got that military privilege now. You see what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
said it again, I'm sorry. But um how far do your loyalty go is basically what I'm getting down to,
To
you
your
know?
to your pocketbook,
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. All this,
down to the bottom of your
I'm a
pocket.
patriot. I love my state and all this stuff. Yeah, I was
Mhm.
one of those guys.
I
Okay,
was too, man. Not for long though.
right, exactly. Got to my wallet, and see,
Yeah.
there's no consequence other
Well, you
than hearing like,
learn, right? You learn. I mean, when I joined the military, and I might have said this before, when I joined the military, I thought when I left Pennsylvania, where I grew up, I'm going to go to basic training and then whatever first base. I had no idea. I thought everything would be the same. I would, things that directly affected me, taxes and whatever, licensing, and that would be the same ever across every state. We all do it the same. We're united. No,
not so much.
not so much. And then when I got to where first base was in North Dakota, and I was like, man, I don't have to get my vehicle inspected. I don't have to, pay this exuberant cost that, to every year. How much is my tags? And oh, really? Hmm. And it just
Okay,
snowballed, right?
I see you coming to the light. Now watch this transition.
Hmm.
Watch how it blend what I'm
Yeah,
saying. As I began to wake up and see the light, I realized, hey, you're in the United States. You don't have to support the Atlanta Falcons. You don't have to stick with this suck team. You can
yeah.
you
You
can
can,
broaden your horizons.
yeah.
You can cheer for a team now of your choice. Now, and I did that. And that's just like that Georgia Tech. I don't have to pay this freaking exorbitant
But
amount of taxes
you still
on
paying it
this.
on the Bulldogs, so
So I like them. I truly do like them. You know what I'm saying? Win or lose, I do like them
that's
for
because they're
whatever
still
reason.
winning. That's because they win
Well,
games. They win
they've had a lot
championships.
of success. All right, Dallas.
They
Hey, a lot of
reinforce your loyalty by their performance. Where
I'm not being necessarily okay, I see that differently for whatever reason. And I'll elaborate on that. I can't elaborate now because of time. So we're a good way to get out of this thing. But
we're almost out of time. We don't.
time is almost up. I ain't got
Yeah,
time. We need to
we
talk
got a
about
few minutes.
we need to talk about Gaza and what's going on over there and the atrocities that's being
Well, we
reported.
got some time. We can get out that. We can jump track
But
there.
remind me next week to let you guys why I'm still beholden to Georgia. It ain't just because they win. Dallas is a winner. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you made the comment that Atlanta Falcons were not doing it. They were
That's right.
sorry. They're
I was
horrible.
10. I was 10. Okay. Give me a darn mercy. You know, I
At
was
least
10.
you're
I was a kid. I
sticking
was
to it.
ignorant. I was just like that little airman here at Shaw paying Georgia taxes on a car. And then the
Hmm.
light bulb came
I
on.
don't have
And it was
to.
like, like, wait,
I
I
don't
don't
have
have
to.
to. I don't have to. I got a choice. That's
Yeah.
what America was built on, choice.
Hmm.
You got
Freedom is.
rights,
Yeah.
freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of state. I
I
changed my
don't.
residency.
I feel bad because I haven't really done any research or watched a lot of anything reliable about Gaza. Right. I haven't watched anything. I feel bad.
Yeah, same. It's a lot. It's a lot of YouTube stuff. Nothing official on that.
Yeah.
I did see one news report. They showed like a whole flight line of food in crates or pallets or whatever,
Hmm.
but it was destitute of people. I'm like, well, why is food sitting out here? And I think I remember. Well, I don't know. I don't know what was said, but it was implied that the people weren't allowed to get the food that they needed, and that was. And I can't really form an opinion on it, but it's worthy of looking into. They're like, is there
Hmm.
really something going on? Is there some mass genocide going on in Gaza? But it's all over YouTube, though. Yeah, it's going on. Israel's doing this. Israel is trying to enact the borders that God gave to Abraham 4,000 years ago. You know,
They're kicking
so
them out of God. They're pretty much saying, "Nah, you're done. We're taking it back."
mm,
And that's
yeah,
gonna if
we're
they do
taking.
that, that's gonna enrage a lot of Arab
It's a lot of
countries.
monks already enraged
They're
over
already
that
there, yeah.
situation, and for various reasons. Some are humanitarian, some are anti-Zionism, I mean Zionist or whatever, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on. And I need to
Crazy.
look into it. And maybe we'll talk about it
Yeah.
intelligently next
And
week.
I mean, I've seen some reports that the food that's been coming in has been stolen or,
Mhm.
or
Don't know.
garbage or, the when I say stolen, taken by, you know, Hamas or whatever, terrorists or whatever they're calling themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be them. Could be Hamas. I mean, they need to retool their terrorist activity because
Yeah,
a lot of them got killed. So that could be the situation. It could be Israel, like we want this land back, and you guys you need to find another place to live. You know what I'm saying? We can't have you tunneling over on our side, popping up, killing people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll dig into it. We'll report what we know
yeah, that's
about
all
that
we can,
situation.
that's all you can do is figure out what,
We'll ask AI what's really maybe AI can tell us what's really going on.
hmm.
Hmm. As he ponders. Yeah.
Chat
Uh-huh.
GP, GT,
GBT? Yeah,
GP, GBT, what
is
is
it
it?
I thought Chat GBT? Yeah, GBT. You gotta just let it roll. You just gotta go with it. It could
GBT.
be GPT, it could be GB ABC. East. Let me stop.
I
I'm
thought it
getting
was
off.
chat. I thought it was chat GPT.
What does it stand for?
I don't know. Got took. I don't know. I don't know.
If you know what chat blah 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 is and what it means, please enlighten these guys that was born in the 60s.
Yeah,
Well, I know we're like dinosaurs. If you're some young person, like, who are these old dudes? And they're babbling about stuff. You
that
know what I'm
it's
saying? They
gonna
don't even know
be.
who Katy Perry is. You know, these cats.
I know who
Why?
Katy Perry is. I know who Katy
Oh,
Perry is.
gotcha. Tracking.
Now, if you ask, you talk about, some of the rap artists and stuff that
Mhm.
anymore, country, even any music to probably, I haven't followed them any real music stuff in a long time. Any of it. It don't matter what the genre is, any of it. I couldn't tell you half the artists that are singing.
$1 million. Which famous rapper put actual human blood in their brand of tennis shoes? 10 seconds, Chuck.
First off, you ain't got $1 million.
I don't. Well, maybe our subscribers will pull together to back me. Um, the answer is Nas X. I
Is that I
just,
was like, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I don't know. You know, what is Nas X?
what does it mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why he would call himself Nas X.
Is it Nas? Is that the one that did the he had like one skinny kid with dressed up in a
Yeah.
cowboy suit
Yep, that's him. You got
where he
him.
rode in a horse or something?
Yep, he made that famous song. It was a country rap
Yeah.
song, and it went viral. He's the one that was on the pole that was in
I heard he
heaven, and
got
he
in
went.
trouble. I thought I saw something where he got arrested or got in trouble for something recently.
I never heard that. I haven't. Man, he's kind of disappeared from
Yeah,
the
he went real
scene.
weird. I mean, he went straight up weird.
Yeah, yeah. He just wanted to introduce weird. He didn't go weird. He introduced it.
Giving me the dude walking by the trailer, giving me the stink eye, and I'm doing
Oh, really?
getting the hard look to my trailer.
It's probably an indigenous person
No,
out
he's
there.
straight white bread.
You know, pardon, pardon. This message has been interrupted by
Yeah.
Nas X. Just walk by your trailer.
on that note, on that note, straight Wonder Bread.
Straight Wonder Bread.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
sign us out there, brother.
What are we doing? Okay, all right. Hey, look, enjoyed the show. Enjoyed you guys watching and everything like that. Um, my good friend has been putting out a lot of material, teaching us how to maintain what we got. Check in to Drive Time. It's really insightful. He's done a drive time video on a couple of my possessions, and I'm definitely satisfied with that. So check out Drive Time. It's really informative, really insightful.
We're still waiting
Um,
on that one that you did. I'm still waiting to see
I
it.
know it's still in slow
Hmm.
production.
But on that note, I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one. God bless.
God bless y'all.